Bonjour! We are back in Paris. Hello, everyone. I am currently a sweaty mess. I rushed to the airport today. I woke up so fucking late. I couldn't go to bed last night for some fucking reason. I woke up after a nap. That's what did it. I went for a nap at like 8 p.m., woke up at 1 a.m., was up until 4 a.m., and then woke up again today at like 8 a.m. So we're holding on, but we are back in Paris. It was actually really easy to fly in. I didn't even know I could fly from Florence, but I was able to. Got straight in. The airport in Florence is tiny, but it was great because I was able to like speedy through it. But yes, we are back here in Paris. This is going to be super chill. We are here to go to the Fashion Week party tomorrow. So we're going to take it easy while we're here. But I've checked into, it's called Hotel Raphael, I think is how you pronounce it. And this has been a dream of mine to stay in this hotel. The same way I talked about the hotel that the party is in tomorrow night. Me and my friend Joy, and even me and my mum and stuff, when we would come to Paris, would always come to this hotel bar. It's just really fucking nice. And we always just would get dressed up and we would come into the little bar and stuff. And the fact that I'm staying here, I can't believe it. I was like walking in, and normally in the past when I've walked in, they'd be like, what room number are you? And I'd be like, yeah. And I just like walked to the bar, but this time I was able to be like, I'm checking in. And let me show you the hotel room, and then I'm gonna get myself together and we are gonna go out. I really want to find an SD card for my camera because it's been a while since I've been able to use my camera. My SD card broke, I think, in Rome. So might do that. I also need to start buying new clothes because let me tell you something. Living for like a month out of a small suitcase, re-wearing the same two outfits, you're gonna need to start changing them soon. But let me show you the room. So you come in, and it is so beautiful! It is so beautiful. And it's the first hotel I've stayed in where there's no like creepy paintings anywhere. So you have this right here. You have the bed and this little seating area. What does this say? Monsieur McIntyre Adam. I wonder what this is. Hold on. What is this? Because I'm actually really fucking hungry. Oh, it's squishy. Oh, it's... What the fuck? What the fuck is that? I don't know how I feel about that. You have this nice little area over here. And you know what I can ask you? Do you like my tracksuit? Because we are wearing it yet again. So we have this nice little seating area. We are staying on the Champs-Élysées, which you can see right out here. Can't believe I'm staying here. You come down here. This is the first ever bathroom in a hotel that I've seen doesn't even have a door. It's just like these drapes. So you have this little area with this mirror right here. What do you think of the tracksuit? Do you love it? Is it so Paris Fashion Week? And we have this right here. Come through to the bathroom. The shower. The bathroom. Toilet. The bath. This. Isn't this so beautiful? Oh, I am so sweaty. I need to powder my face. They asked me when I was checking in, they were like, oh, why are you in Paris? And I was like, oh, I'm here for a Fashion Week party tomorrow. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm here for a Fashion Week party? I didn't even have to lie. I didn't even have to lie about why I'm here. I'm here for a Fashion Week party. What the fuck do you mean? This is my dream. What the fuck is going on? So I'm staying in like my dream hotel. I'm going to a Fashion Week party tomorrow. I can't. All right, we are going to try doll ourselves up a little bit because this is not working. We need to go out to the shops. We need to get deodorant. I need to go out and find new underwear and socks, by the way, because I'm running low. I think I have one pair of each that is new left. So we've got to sort that out. And yeah, I would love to have like people over. Who wants to come over for a drink? So yeah, I'm going to charge my phone up and get ready. It is currently 3 p.m. I am right here on check-in. There was no delays with the flights. There was crazy turbulence though, because there's crazy storms all over the UK and Ireland right now, and a little bit was hitting over here. I can't imagine what it was like flying over the UK or Ireland last night. There is a plane that was going from Manchester to Dublin. It ended up rerouting, going from Manchester to Dublin, landed, came back up again, and went to Paris. And I think the flight was supposed to be like 30 minutes. The flight ended up being like 9 or like 10 hours. So I knew I was going to get a little bit of turbulence today, but it was crazy. I can't imagine what those poor people on those flights yesterday, because that's my nightmare. But anyway, yeah, we're going to charge our phones, get ready. This is such an interesting flavor. I really don't like the texture. Interesting. Yeah, I don't like that. Oi, everyone! It sounds so weird to say that, but I've heard that that is hi in Portugal, in Portuguese. I am so Oi! So tired. It has been a long day, and I was at the Paris Fashion Week after party last night until like 5 a.m. or something. So, you know, today's a little bit, I'm not hungover, surprisingly, but it's a little bit of it was a long travel day and there were so many delays. But we have arrived here in Lisbon. It is hot. I am dripping sweat. It is currently, I think, like 8 or maybe 9 p.m. So I've got to go out soon because restaurants are going to be closing. I knew that I was going to be arriving super late today, so I'm actually here for like 3 days rather than just 3 nights. Let me show you the room. I'm very excited to be here. I have never been to Lisbon before, and I've never been to Portugal before. My family always used to come to Portugal, but like different parts, and I never went. They went to Spain after I was born. I don't know why. They went to Portugal all before I was born, and then my brother was almost born in Portugal because my mom was like, went into like labor early or something like that. I don't know what the fuck happened. And they've just never gone back to Portugal since, so I never got to see it. So thank you to Sean, my brother, that ruined that for me, but we're getting it ourselves. So yeah, I'm so excited to be here. Let me show you the room. So you come in and you have this little seating area right here. You have this desk over here with my Madonna jacket, which is something that is going to inspire a lot of where I go, because Madonna's album, Madam X, which is one of my favorite albums, was created in Lisbon, and I'm hoping to go to the Fado bars and restaurants and clubs that inspired the album because I love Fado music. So I have that jacket, which I've been bringing everywhere. And they have this for me, which I'm very excited for, and I'm going to go to Thai. Actually, it has been a long time since I've ate. It's probably been dinner yesterday. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's good. What is that? It's really fresh and good. My question is, when do they put this out? Because you can check into this hotel from 2 p.m. and I arrived at like 8 p.m. So, I mean, it still tastes fresh. Well, I am going to finish both bits right now. I'm so hungry. So anyway, you have this little seating area right here. These open up into the balcony, but I've just opened one right now. You come through to the bed. Beautiful little bedroom, all the storage in here. Look at this beautiful bathroom. You never really see wooden floorings in a place, so I'm loving seeing this. We have this beautiful bathroom. This is very intricate and insane. Hey, do you love the tracksuit? What do you think of the tracksuit? Do you love it? Because this is our final place that I'm going to be telling you that, because we are ending this trip in Lisbon. So, well, I'm going to Brighton after this, but this is our last place that I'm going to be asking you, what do you think of the tracksuit? Do you love it? Because I've sweated through it because it's so fucking warm. You come through, you have a shower right here, and then you have the shitter right here. But let me show you the balcony. Is it hard or soft? Oh, it's a hard one. Don't take that out of context. Come through to the balcony and look at this. Is this not so beautiful? And they're playing music down here as well. So beautiful. I can't believe I'm here, and I can't believe that this trip has... I was gonna say it has flown in, but I feel like when you say that, it kind of feels like, oh, it's flown in, and like taking it for granted. I mean, I have savored every moment of this trip, and I'm so blessed and so grateful that I was able to go on it. And my mind has been open to so many different experiences and so many different things from this trip. And again, I talked about this in my Florence video, but this is all because of you watching my videos, so thank you so much. So yeah, I don't want to say it's flown in because it's been a nice amount of time and I've really cherished it, and it has felt like a long time. And it's because I've like crammed a lot in, but I feel so inspired in life right now. And I haven't been for a while, and I really do feel it now. Before I go in a sappy tangent, we need to go. So I'm going to charge my phone, and then in the process, I'm going to change my outfit because I'm stinky from traveling. Okay, before we head out, we may as well have a little celebration. I don't know why it took me so long to say that sentence. Okay, I'm gonna try open this in a more cool way than I did the last time, because watching the footage back of me opening the one in Rome was so embarrassing. So let me act like I'm not scared of the bottle, okay? Cheers, everyone, to Lisbon and the final place on our trip. We made it safely here, and let's do it. Okay! Fuck me. Well, the seat is soaking. Let me go clean that up. Nice. Seat is just soaking. Lovely. Okay. Note to self, always be scared of the bottle. Okay, that really didn't go to plan. So, note to self, we are going to fear the bottle from here on out. Anyways, oh, you better not smell. You better not smell. I love that sound. You would have been so proud of me last night, by the way. So, at the Fashion Week, sorry, cheers. Cheers to you. Oh. Oh, it's actually nice. You would have been so proud of me last night. You know I love going crazy whenever I'm at a party or something, and I was at a Fashion Week party, and I had a couple glasses of champagne. I stayed out really late, but I didn't get too drunk, and I was drinking mostly fucking water and cranberry juice last night. You know why? Because I feared the hangover of my first day in Lisbon, which I did. Remember my awful hangover in Florence? I didn't want to go through that again, so I had a little bit of fear. And I also just didn't want to travel with a hangover, and I also just didn't want to be really sloppy drunk. So, I feel I've earned this because last night I was very well behaved. Which is shocking because my parents woke up this morning expecting like mayhem, but I was well behaved last night. I was well behaved. You know, it's whatever. I can be sensible. So yeah, I've looked up restaurants that are nearby that allegedly do Fado music. I know in Portugal, one of my biggest fears is fish, as we're all aware. And I know that in Portugal, fish is a really big thing. And I know that most of the restaurants are very fish oriented, which I didn't really think about until I got here. I don't know why. Because I was like, oh, like I just won't order it. You know, I'm hoping that there's alternatives to fish on the menu, but also the smell of fish really just fucking drives me up the walls. So don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm not gonna let it stop me from going out to restaurants. There are a bunch spread across Lisbon. I'm willing to walk to whatever one allows me to have a table and get food and listen to music, because I know that a lot of them are reservation based. Also, what day of the week is it? I think it's a Wednesday. So the places might be busy, they might not be, but if not, we'll literally just walk around and we'll find something to do. But anyway, cheers. Cheers. Again, look how quiet these streets are. They're so quiet. There's something so quiet about Europe right now. I don't know what it is, but like everywhere I'm going is so quiet. I'm walking to the city center from a recommendation from the hotel staff for, it's like Club de Fado or something like that. They said it's a good restaurant. Who predicts I'm gonna fall on these steps? Anyway, I am aware that a lot of the Fado places require reservations, but even if I don't get in somewhere, I'll figure something out. But I just want to walk to the hustle and bustle and see what's going on. See what's going on.
Se prende ao velho e edifica para a vida inteira. Ai, quem me dera prender o teu futuro. É como andar naufragado, caminhar desamparado, perdido na escuridão. É como andar naufragado, caminhar desamparado, perdido na escuridão. Fechado num longo beijo, o que fosse derradeiro, vestido por espiar. Vezes sem conta juraste dançar comigo no baile, às portas de moraria.
Oh my god, Lisbon is mostly fucking stairs. Anyway, I am walking out from the restaurant. It was beautiful, it was amazing, it was everything I thought it was going to be and more. I think I'm pretty close by the ocean right now, so I'm just like walking down to kind of see if it's like a beach or it's like a sidewalk or a boardwalk or anything, just so I know for tomorrow. Oh, wait. Okay, I see sand, which means that I think it might be a sandy beach. That was so beautiful and so moving. They had the three guys who were playing the instruments, and then they had one guy singer and then a woman singer, and they were just, it's been a dream of mine to listen to Fado music, and it's been a dream of mine to listen to Fado music in Lisbon for so long. I think since 2019 I really wanted to hear it, and it was a dream come true tonight. Okay, there was something so inspiring about hearing the music, and oh my god, there was 3 different sets, and then at the end the guys came on and they just performed with no singer, and that was probably my favorite. It was so beautiful and it was so moving beyond words, and like even when the singers were on, it was just quite emotional, and I just was sitting on my own thinking about life, thinking about my thoughts. And the craziest thing about it is I think in all of this, specifically during the music that was playing tonight, I think I have fully decided that I am going to move back to Brighton. I know this sounds really weird to kind of say that listening to like Fado music like made me decide on that or think on that or whatever, but for some reason when I was sitting down there listening to it and I was looking around at all these people, and there was like couples holding their hands, there was people on first dates, there was whatever. It just kind of made me think about where I'm at in life right now and kind of where I want to go in life. And ultimately, I don't see myself living in Manchester. Ultimately, I see myself living in Brighton, and I really came to that conclusion tonight. I have over the past few days, I've been thinking about it a lot. But tonight I was sitting there and I was looking around at everyone, and I was just kind of thinking, you know, I think that's where I want to go with my life, is back to Brighton. But anyway, it was so beautiful. I can't say that enough. It was also someone's birthday. I think it was like it was either a little boy or a little girl. There was a boy and girl in a family, and they were both really young. I don't know who the cake went to because I didn't see, but cake came out and went to one of them, and everyone in the restaurant sang happy birthday in Portuguese with the Fado music playing the happy birthday, and it was so sweet. And I was like singing along, like I don't know the words, but like I'm here for the vibe. But one thing I was gonna say was, during the Fado music, it was mostly couples that were there, like people that seemingly were married or people that were on first dates was really what I was getting. And I was looking at it, and during the last set where it was just the 3 guys, I looked over and obviously the seat opposite me was empty. And it was so weird because in that moment, my mind immediately thought of times that I've been in an environment like that on a date. And I was like, wow, I'm here alone. There's no one else. It's just my own company. And normally that would be something that, why did I just go to look for my phone? I just went to look for my phone. Normally that would be something that would get me like, oh, damn, I'm here alone or whatever. But I looked over and I was like, you know what? I'm here with my own company, and I'm really enjoying my own company. And I feel that on this trip, again, we're in the last place of this entire little thing we're doing now. I really enjoy my own company, and I loved hanging out with myself, and I looked over and I didn't feel sad that I was by myself. I actually enjoyed it, and that is huge progress for me because I've been struggling with that recently, but it just was such a nice, lovely little night. So anyway, I know that the water is behind me. Let's walk over and see kind of what the fuck is going on. I don't know. Okay, I've came down, and this is not what I was expecting necessarily. There's no sand, and I'm pretty sure this just goes into the water. So I don't know where all that sand was coming from, because this just goes into the water. I mean, it's a beautiful little harbor. Where did the sand come from? There's sand somewhere. Anyway, it's very beautiful, very fucking quiet. Seriously, where is everyone in Europe? They heard I was coming and they all went, we're getting the fuck out. There's a lot of little boats over here, and there's like a lot of people like partying on this boat, and they're like really drunk. Like, I can tell they're really drunk, and I can tell they're really young because they walked past me and they're now over there. Okay. Did they honk at me? I think the people I was talking about just honked at me. Hi! How y'all doing? Have a good night. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, it's super quiet. I'm gonna now walk back to my hotel direction. I literally think it's like almost midnight. I had a nice night. Peaceful night. The streets are beautiful. I'm excited to see it during the daytime, and I'm also aware that it's probably gonna be quite hot tomorrow. So we will see. But yeah, everywhere in Europe is pretty quiet right now. Anyway, let's walk to the hotel, wherever the fuck that is. It's probably so fucking far away. Oh wait, there's a red light down here, by the way, I want to bring you to. It's quite strong. And a couple years ago, I would have taken so many selfies in front of it. But for now, I'm so mature and I'm so grown that I'm just going to vlog in front of it. Anyway, I do think my hotel, if I remember correctly, is 31 minutes away. The thought of walking 31 minutes is crazy. However, normally it would be. But I'm in a new city, so I'm going to be seeing new things. Very excited about it. The problem is, I really need... Look at this. I really need deodorant. And I can't find a shop that's open. I need deodorant, but... Oh, the boat is moving. There's a boat now moving. I don't know if that's the same one. There's... Hey. Can you see that? Well... Have fun, guys. I really need to find a shop, like a corner shop, to get deodorant. Apparently that doesn't fucking exist, or else it's not open. I asked the guys in the restaurant, and they were like, what? Convenience shop? And I was like, yeah, and they were like, I was like, okay. Anyway, the guys were so nice in there. They were like, do you have a reservation? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, can I make a reservation? Like, it's always been a dream of mine to come here. Because that was one of the places, I know they gave me a recommendation at the hotel, but like Club de Fado was one of the places on my list. And I was like, well, could I just make a reservation for another night? It's always been a dream of mine to come here. And he was like, well, you should have said so. And he was like, I'll get you a table now. And I was like, thank you. But was that table available the entire time? So anyway, they were super sweet in there. I really did love it. I think I'm going to go to a Fado bar restaurant every single night. Oh my god, I stood too long in front of that red light that everything looks red right now. I am for sure going to go to a Fado club every night. I'm going to try not go to the same one every night. I say that and I may go to the same one every night. Just to try something new. But the music is so inspiring and I really do love everything about it. But anyway, for now, we're in this quiet-ass street in Lisbon. I can't believe we're in Lisbon. Well... We're in Lisbon. Okay, I don't know how to feel about the fact that all of Lisbon is just walking up hills. So I have to walk up this now, but I just walked up this. My legs are fucking tired. Dude, why is it so steep? Why is it so steep? Whatever happened to elevators? Okay, you're really taking the piss now. It's getting more and more steep the more we go up. You're really taking the piss now. I am so unfit and you're taking the piss. Oh my god. We're almost there. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'm back at the hotel, but look at the pool. I haven't seen a pool in so long with this view. They have the little beds right here. It's so beautiful. Oh, they just turned it off. I think they're watching me. Okay, I'm now back in the hotel room, and I was just talking to the hotel reception. So I saw the pool, and I was like, oh, like, is your pool open tomorrow? And he went, the pool's always open. And I went, always open? And he went, yeah, it's always open. And I went, so it's, like, open right now? And he goes, yeah, it's open right now. And I go, so, like, I could go in the pool right now? And he goes, yeah, you could go in the pool right now. He goes, if you're brave enough, like, it's, you know, really cold. Bitch, can you hear that? I'm, like, sweating so much that I would love to go in the pool. So, I'm gonna go in the pool. What the fuck? I'm gonna go in the pool. Of course I'm gonna go in the pool. I'm dripping sweat. I don't have any I don't have any swimwear with me. So I'm gonna have to go in my boxers. Scandalous. However, they do that out here in Europe. Whenever I was on family holidays, all the guys used to just go in the pool in their underwear, so... And also, I'm the only person there, so... I can't believe I get to go to a pool right now. I feel like Peter Mon when he's like, I'm gonna go to the pool. Bitch, I'm Peter Mon right now. This is the first time I have been in a pool in so long. And it is so cold right now. It is so cold. I thought it was a lot warmer in Lisbon than what it was until I got into this pool. However, it is still really fun to be in a pool. I have not been in a pool, I don't think, since probably Marbella 2021 with my mum. So that it's been a while since I've been at a pool. There was a pool in LA when me and my mum went. I think she went in, but I never did because the crowd were always too scary. What's interesting is when I stand still, I start to feel warm, but then when I move in the slightest, I start to feel incredibly cold. You know what I feel like I'm doing right now? I feel like I'm doing like a ice plunge or something. This is a really nice pool though. It is so cold. It is so cold. I'm also literally, oh no, my waist is going under. It's so cold. It's so cold. It's also like 1 a.m. No one else is here. Where's the party, y'all? Where's the party? Oh my god, it is so cold. I'm like trying to warm up to it. Let me put my arms in. It's so cold. It's so cold. Where is the heaters? I like tweeted and was like, could I come into this pool considering I have like bleach blonde hair? And everyone was like, don't go in, your hair's gonna go green. Luckily for you, babes, it's so cold that I'm not gonna make it past my shoulders. Hey, how y'all doing? It is so cold. Oh my god. Good morning, everyone. It is a lovely day here in Lisbon. I have just woken up. I have taken my shower. I'm drinking my little water to kind of start the day. And I was sitting out on the balcony just enjoying the view. Let me show you this. It is absolutely beautiful. And then we're going to head out and start the day. Look at this. Just so beautiful. Anyway, let me close up the balcony, and yeah, we are going to head out. We are just gonna walk and see what we find. Look at this little area. It is so beautiful, and it is so sunny today. The sky is gorgeous. I love a little display like this. This water looks so good. I want to jump in so bad. Yeah, it is such a beautiful day, and look at those skies. I mean, look at these skies. It is so blue, and it is so sunny. It's really beautiful weather. So I've walked down to the water, which is where I was last night, if you remember. I don't know what these buildings are, but damn, they are beautiful. It's interesting because Lisbon is definitely a lot more built up than the other cities we went to. The buildings are definitely a lot more spread out, whereas the other cities we went to were definitely way more compact. It's interesting seeing a different perspective. It is. The people here, by the way, are also really friendly. In the restaurant, and I went into a shop earlier, they just kind of treat you as if your family, which is sweet.
Não dá pra ficar cara a cara. Eu quero esquecer, mas se vejo você.
There's always something so peaceful about like a body of water, and this one is no exception. It is so beautiful. This is my first time seeing the waters in Portugal, and it's beautiful. And we have everyone down here gathered, like listening to music and stuff, and then we have like some people here as well. But it is really beautiful and it's really peaceful, and it's reminding me of coming on family holidays with my parents and my brothers, because this is kind of the like activities that we would do during the day, and it's really nice. It's bringing back a lot of nostalgia, even though, sorry, it is so bright. It's bringing back a lot of nostalgia, even though I've never been here before. Okay, I have booked tickets to a Fado show. I'm now back in my hotel, obviously. I've booked tickets to a Fado show, which is happening in like 10 minutes, so I need to leave, but I need to show you this view first. Look at this. It's currently sunset. Look at this. How beautiful is that? That is so beautiful. We are about to be late to the show, so let's go.
Cantar fado é pecar, eu quero ser um pecador. Se cantar fado é pecar. Canto fado. Now let's learn more strong, please. Canto fado. Uma esperança perdida não passa na vida por um mau bocado. Se é caso a sorte esqueceu é fazer como eu. Quando nos dá um cheirinho a raparigas, levar uma água furtada, cheira bem, cheira a Lisboa, uma rosa a florir na camada, cheira bem, cheira a Lisboa, a fregada que se ergue na broa, a farina que tem a sal, cheira bem porque são Lisboa, Lisboa tem cheiro de flores do mar. Cheira bem, cheira a Lisboa. Now, the most energy that you can drink, 2, 1. Cheira bem, cheira a Lisboa.
Okay, I just came out of the show and it was so amazing. I'm walking to see if I can get a dinner reservation anywhere, but it was so beautiful, and more so than that, I think I recorded a couple times when they were asking the crowd to sing along, and at the start everyone was like super quiet and like super nervous, but then by the end everyone was singing along, and it was so beautiful that like all these different people came together in this room and were just singing together, and it was super nice. It was quite emotional. The show was so fucking good. It was like an hour long, and the performers were amazing and really inspiring.
E hoje eu preferia morrer do que algum dia te ver outro homem ao lado.
Hello everyone! Okay, it is so much later now. I am so tired, so I am about to go to bed. I think it's literally like 1 a.m. I was in that restaurant for so long, And then I walked around the streets for a little bit. So I came back to the hotel after walking around for a little bit, and oh my god, the hills in this sofa is so slippery. This material is so slippery. Anyway, the hills in Lisbon are so exhausting to walk up, and so I walked to my hotel, and then I took a nap, and I woke up 30 minutes ago. So it's my friend Liv's birthday today. I'm very excited. I'm seeing her tomorrow, basically. Yeah, because it's after midnight. I'm seeing her tomorrow, Saturday. Going back to Brighton for that, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, the restaurant I went to that I stumbled across was so lovely. The show that I went to was so fun, and I kind of talked about this, but the environment of a show where everyone was singing along, it was just so beautiful. And normally Fado, you sit in silence, so to be encouraged to sing along it was only certain parts, obviously, but it was so nice to hear everyone singing, and it was very beautiful. And there were so many different kinds of people there. There was a mother and a daughter, and then there's a family, and then there was a couple in front of me, and then there was very clearly student tourists, and it was just really a nice vibe. And then I went to dinner, and I wanted to go to this specific Fado restaurant, even though most restaurants out here are Fado, which is basically you'll go in and there's a show, but the show is every 30 minutes, and it's interesting in a vibe in a restaurant because when the Fado plays, you shut the fuck up. Everyone goes radio silent, and they're radio silent for the entire time the show is, and then they talk for 20 minutes, and then the show happens again and everyone's in silence. So if you're with people, you're pretty much in silence the entire time. I'm really eyeing up making a tea because I have been craving a tea so fucking bad. I don't think I have any water in the room, which sucks. Damn. Could I make a tea with a fucking 7-Up? Damn, I really have no water in this fucking room. Oh my god, there's no water. That sucks. I wonder if reception would have any water. I might ring, because I really would love some water. I mean, I'm completely out. I hate to be annoying by calling, but I kind of want water so bad. I know I'm gonna have a headache if I don't drink water, though, because I had wine at dinner. How did I call reception? What did they say to call to get to reception? They told me a number. I'm literally going to the fucking reception to ask for water. So embarrassing. I'm not even locking the door. If someone wants to break in, they can break in. What an angel, and it's ice cold. So anyway, yeah, I went to the show, and like I talked about, it was really, really, really fun. It was a very interesting vibe. It was, very, very intimate. And then I wanted to go to a restaurant, and I went, and they had no reservations, which is something that is very common out here in Lisbon, which is something that I haven't experienced anywhere I've ever been, actually, which is Lisbon is very reservation heavy. I mean, everything is reservation that I have came across, and there are restaurants that will be booked out days in advance. Most of them are you book, a day or so before, but obviously I just arrived, so it doesn't really work. Mainly the ones I want to go to. Obviously, you could just go to any restaurant, but I'm looking at, the Fado ones that have shows, and they're always booked out. So I went to one today with no reservation. I couldn't get in, and I just kind of walked, and I looked up online, and there was one, maybe an 8-minute walk. I walked, and it looked so dead from the outside, and I've already shown you all the video clips, so you're obviously aware of what happened. I went in, and it was so fucking dead. It was me, a table right here, a table right there, and one other person. And we're sitting, we're having a lovely time. I get chorizo as a starter, and it came on fire. It wasn't that good, and it was really they had a lot of fat on the chorizo, and I can't eat fat because the texture of it really just throws me off, and I'm mm-mm. So I didn't eat most of it, but my pasta was a chicken pasta, and I'm almost considering going back to the same restaurant again because it was probably the nicest pasta I've ever had in my entire life. And I think it was better than any pasta I had in Italy. I know. But anyway, the show starts. I didn't even think there was going to be a show because I just went into this random restaurant, and sure, it had Fado in the name, but I was maybe that's just a thing. There doesn't seem enough people that there would be a show here. Nope. There was a show, and they literally pulled up right beside my table, as you saw, and it was very, very, very intimate. It was incredibly intimate. It was a little bit awkward at the start because I was literally, like, my table should have been moved over a little bit, but the waiters didn't want me to move my table. I, like, was asking, like, do you want me to, I'm like, am I in your way? And they were like, no, it's great, you're part of the show. And I was like, part of the show? Like, I don't expect me. So, it was really, really, really fun. I loved it so much, and I loved it so much that I ended up getting my starter a glass of wine, my main a glass of wine, and then my dessert and a glass of wine. Like, I ended up staying for so long. I ended up staying past the time of every single other person that was in my area. Like, in my section, they had all left, and it was, I think even some tables went through two groups of people. I was there for hours because I saw the same people perform their entire set, which you're supposed to rotate the people because every time they'd be like, hello everyone, they would do their introduction and then they'd be like, and hello again, because I hadn't have moved. They were so fucking brilliant, so talented, so much passion, and the respect from the crowd just going silent is so amazing and is not something that you would get in the UK. But one thing I want to talk about, and I was very excited to have this conversation with you. I was super excited to have it when I came back to the hotel, but clearly I needed a nap. It was so interesting observing couples today. So there was a table opposite me at the start, which were two women, and they were very clearly two friends. Whereas, you know, it was very clear to tell they weren't a couple. Aside from the fact that at one stage, I'm pretty sure one of them's partner came in and kissed them. And so they were very clearly, you know, two girls gossiping, and they had a great time. And they were crying during the Fado show, and they were just seeing their enjoyment was amazing. But anyway, when that table changed, it was a man and woman as a couple. And I was listening to the Fado, which was like, my table was here, the Fado was there, and their table was there. You've seen it in the videos. And I was like looking at the couple, and I was trying to like look away when they would look at me so that they didn't think I was looking at them. But witnessing their couple dynamic was so interesting. They were so flirty with each other, but like being very discreet. Like they kept giving each other like the eyes and all this. And it was interesting watching their dynamic. And then after them, another couple actually, or no, the couple, so they left. And there was no one on that table, right? But the table beside it so for mine right here, but to the right of that table, I don't know why I had to just fucking do a graph for you, was a man and woman, and it was an older couple, and they were resting in on each other. They were just like rubbing each other's shoulder. At one stage, the husband started singing to the wife after the Fado show stopped, and they just were holding hands the entire dinner. And then they left, and beside me, there was a couple that were probably around my age, and they were very clearly on one of their first dates because they were very awkward together, and they spoke English. I think they were American, which is interesting because at the start, most people that I was with were American. I feel like I was sat with the Americans. Hey, shout out to the Americans. But they were, I think, American. They spoke English, and the questions they were asking each other were like the things of a first date. And I was hearing their conversations because obviously the place is so quiet and intimate. And I was like, oh my God, the just awkwardness of like a first date where you're going through that same icebreaker shit. Like, fuck me, tell me about your family, tell me about your friends, what do you do for work, all that. That was what they were doing. And it was like at one stage, like he reached his hand over and held her hand, and I think it lasted for like 2 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, the awkwardness of first dates is so killer. So yeah, it was interesting watching dynamics. And by the way, the people in Lisbon are so in love. I have never seen a city of PDA like it. Oh my fucking Christ. Literally any show I've been to, of the Fado shows, whether it's a restaurant or whatever, I mean, all these couples love their physical touch. And it's interesting, I don't think I've been anywhere where it's been as intense as this. And obviously, I'm not really seeing it on the streets or anything. Well, I mean, it was so sunny today that I couldn't even fucking look up properly. But at the shows and stuff, like, people are so lovey-dovey here, which is, you know, very interesting because I feel that in the places I've been, I haven't really witnessed that. I don't know how I feel about PDA. I know that, like, people in my family always talk like they hate PDA. They hate, like, we always have conversations at, like, the family table about, like, how we feel when we witness someone being very PDA in a public environment. Does it make us awkward? Do we not care? Whatever. And I know that most people in my family don't like it and they just find it awkward. I always thought the same until I realized that I have a tendency to act PDA in a club or a bar, but that's the only place. I hate holding hands with people walking down the street. More specifically, obviously, I'm holding hands with a guy and I'm walking down the street. In Manchester, I'm trying to think. In Manchester, it's happened with two guys. One of them I went on a couple dates with, and then the other one I was seeing for a little bit. And both people, I knew them for very different time periods. I knew one for a week or so and went on a couple dates, and the other one I knew for months and, would see often. Both times I hated holding hands with either of them in public. I felt so uncomfortable holding hands with both of them, and I'd kissed both of them at a club, but I had only kissed one of them, like, on the streets, like, sober, you know what I mean? And I hated it. I hated it so much. I really feel so uncomfortable doing PDA, specifically in Manchester, because I feel very unsafe in Manchester. I really do feel unsafe in Manchester. I don't think that it's somewhere that I can fully relax in. I'm just scared of, like, someone gonna call me, like, a gay slur or, like, slap me or whatever, because, So I don't engage in that PDA in that sense. Maybe at, like, a gay club or something, but not really. So yeah, it was interesting. When I'm seeing all these couples, I, witness couples holding hands walking down the street and stuff. And it's actually only now, whenever I start putting all my thoughts from the day together, that it's interesting, because I can be like, oh, that is so cute. But then there's a part of me that gets so bitter. And I'm like, ugh, fuck off. Like, when I see, like, a man and a woman holding hands and being so lovey-dovey in public, walking down the street, kissing, whatever. And I'm like, fuck you, but good for you that, like, that's something that's completely safe for you to do, or you feel so comfortable you can do that. It's because I'm bitter that I don't feel confident enough to do it at all. So maybe that's why I keep talking so much about, like, witnessing other people's relationships and PDA and stuff. Maybe it's because I don't experience it in my life through my own, like, insecurity with PDA and also fear, that I pick up so much on other people doing it because I'm so used to not doing it on my own. Interesting. Tonight I'm putting a lot of thoughts together. This is also another reason that I'm very much so considering moving back to Brighton. That conversation that we just had, I realized that in the times of living in Brighton, I lived in Brighton for 3-ish years. I went on a couple dates. I never dated anyone and never saw anyone for a long period of time, but had went on a couple dates here and there. But any date that I had ever been on, I held hands with them in public. I walked up and down the streets in Brighton. I walked on the beach holding hands with them. I would kiss them at the end of a date, walking through the Brighton parks or the Brighton lanes. And yes, there would be old people behind me, and I would not feel like they were going to call me a slur. I would never do anything like that in Manchester because I don't feel safe there. And I very much so would look at who's the crowd around me before I would even consider standing too close to a guy I was romantic with, out of fear, out of genuine fear. And I don't think I'm overthinking it because, especially up north, there are a lot of hate crimes that happen towards gay people. And there are a lot as well that happen down south in England and all around, unfortunately. So it's definitely something I keep my guard up for. But in Brighton, I was so used to it being so casual. Brighton was so open and everyone loved everyone. Everyone minded their own fucking business. Well, for the most part. In other aspects, not really. But, every city has their flaws. And I've just realized on this trip that when I've taken a prolonged period of time, sorry, I didn't realize we're doing therapy right now. I just realized on this trip, through all of these different cities, all these different countries, that I've been picking up on different things with different cultures, and apparently something that has been very consistent in my head has been this concept of couples and dating and stuff, right? And I think just on my time in Manchester and then in my time in Brighton, and it's like two different lives. And I think one of the main reasons that I was so sad at the start of this year was I really don't recognize myself in Manchester. I really, really, really don't. And I mean, being hit with losing Milo was a killer. Like it was a real killer to the momentum in which I had built up moving to Manchester. Like I moved to Manchester like fires blazing, ready to hit the town, ready to meet new people, ready to do whatever. And when I lost Milo a couple weeks into moving to Manchester, I really closed off, and I only started going out at nighttime to like meet my friends at like a bar or a club or a restaurant. I never went out during the daytime. I really became so closed in, which I hadn't been in probably since before I moved to Brighton. And on this trip, when I'm getting out and I'm meeting people, and I'm like those girls I met in, was it Rome or was it Florence? Florence. And then we go on a huge night out, and that was because I put myself out there. And I don't do that in Manchester anymore because I just don't like myself there. And it sounds really weird because, like, again, that is like completely my fault. But I compare my life in Manchester now to what my life was in Brighton. And don't get me wrong, Brighton had a lot of flaws. A lot of flaws. Manchester has a lot of flaws. Derry has a lot of flaws. Rome has a lot of flaws. Florence has a lot of flaws. Lisbon has every single place does. I'm very aware of it. And I have a lot of flaws. Like me, myself, the person has a lot of flaws. But all things considered, getting out of the state in which I was living in Manchester has made me realize how actually miserable I am living there. And this kind of sounds dramatic, and it is, but taking myself away from the situation, I've realized that I'm not really living whenever I'm there. And the way of describing it is, when I didn't have my dogs in Manchester, like when they were back home and I didn't have to stick to a routine, I was sleeping in all day. I would wake up, I would film a couple YouTube videos, and then I would go and meet my friends out at a restaurant or a bar, and I would come home and I would sleep, and I would rinse and repeat. Because the daytime in Manchester, I don't particularly like. I haven't found areas I feel necessarily that comfortable in, and so I just avoid it. And then when the Milo thing happened, like I said, it knocked me off my wanting to explore Manchester, wanting to do anything. So I've just realized that, like, wow, like my life there is so different than what it was in Brighton, where I would just go to the beach or walk in the streets and I felt safe or whatever. So a lot of thinking has been done on this trip. And I know these vlogs have been like place, like literally with all the different cities, but like even in them, like they're fast paced. I'm doing a lot. I'm very aware of that, but I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I've been doing a lot of like out loud talking and journaling, and specifically talking on FaceTime with my parents, my friends, and a lot of thinking has been done on this trip. And so I wanted to sit down here and kind of verbally tell you it, because I had posted tonight about the full Brighton Manchester thing, and people were like, what? Like, I thought, like, what? So I just kind of want to like verbally, like, who knows what's going to happen. Right now, what I want to do, be taken away from the conversation, I kind of know everything now. I want to go back to Brighton. My contract for Manchester is up the last week of September. I go to Japan all of February, basically, like first week until basically the last week. So I'll be back in my Manchester apartment in March. I honestly think I'm going to do March in the apartment, and like, if I still feel the same way, maybe I'll move before summer. I don't know. I'm not allowing myself to feel down about it, but I am allowing myself to like have an open dialogue conversation about it. But yeah, it's interesting how much hearing music and being so overexposed to different cultures and stuff will make you really think about your own life. And my God, it has. And I'm very grateful that I'm doing this all solo as well, because it's given me a lot of time to think, and it's given me a lot of time to just debrief and figure out what and where I want to go. And I'm very excited about the fact that the next part of my trip, literally all of it, is with people. So I had this period on my own and I loved it. And I go to Brighton the day after tomorrow, and we're going to be with people, my friends in Brighton. And then we're going to go home. We're going to see our parents. We're going to see my friends in Derry. I'm going to see my dogs. I haven't seen them in so fucking long. I'm going to see my girls, Bonnie and Dolly. I can't wait. And then we're going to go to Japan. And I'm going to be there with my brother, his girlfriend, and my best friend from home. So, you know, I'm going to go from one extreme to the next. Also, I can't wait to go to Brighton to get my fucking nails done and my hair done. I didn't think I was going to be on this trip for as long as what I have. I don't know if you remember, but in Brighton, I was like, oh, I think we're just going to do Paris and go home. What happened to that? What happened to that? What did we do? Paris, Amsterdam, Rome. No, sorry, we did Berlin. Fuck Berlin. Berlin, Rome, Florence. Paris, Lisbon. Sorry, I knew we went somewhere before Lisbon, but I couldn't remember. It was Paris. So I'm going to go to bed now. I'm going to love ya and leave ya. And also, I can't wait to wash my clothes. I cannot wait to wash my clothes. Babe, we're talking 3 weeks in one carry-on suitcase. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Okay, so today I decided to walk the other way than what I normally have. Oh, I'm gonna get knocked down. The streets are a lot more bigger this way, whereas the other way they're a lot more narrow. Look at this. Little park over here. Sorry, this is the funniest park I have ever stumbled across. There's turkeys. I'm currently editing this video. Do not worry. I am aware that those are not turkeys now. Unfortunately, I thought that they were turkeys in the moment. I posted on my social media, look at these turkeys. Immediately got ripped apart. They are roosters. In that moment, they were turkeys to me. So when you hear me talking about turkeys, it's me being dumb as fuck and not knowing the difference between a turkey and a rooster. And just like huge swans and everything walking around. There are so many just like little pigeons over here. All the turkeys are like over there. There's some over here as well, but there's some like just fucking swans. And they're all doing the... This is such a surreal park. I don't know. I literally walked the opposite way that I've normally been going in the mornings. The way I normally go is to the left of my hotel, which is all down the like wobbly side streets, like the really narrow ones. And over here seems to be a lot more big and open. And there's a lot more park areas, which are so lovely. I can't believe I have not known about this turkey/swan park the entire time I've been here. It's really interesting. Wait, there's one right here, look. Come over. Come over, baby. Hey. Hey. Ooh, you better strut. Oh. better stir up, mama. Yes. Yes. Okay, giving Fashion Week Lisbon. Look at her legs. Okay. Look at that strut. You better work, mama. You better work, mama. This is such a peaceful park. And it's also kind of funny with all these signs, I'll be honest. They're a couple. I think. They're giving kisses. Okay, so I just went in and got a coffee. Luckily, they do iced coffee out here because it's not hot, but it's definitely warm. It's definitely warmer than what I've been used to for quite some time. The problem is they gave this dome lid, which is my least favorite lid ever. There's something just so embarrassing about holding a drink that looks like this, but either way, it's quite good. So yeah, it's a beautiful day here. I'm loving the weather. I'm gonna miss this weather so much because I know I'm going back to like stormy weather back home. But yeah, I'm just kind of walking around in different directions than what I've normally done, and I'm definitely seeing a much different landscape and a much different set of like shops and cafes and stuff. And ironically, I'm actually seeing more cafes and restaurants the more away from like touristy areas I walk, because I'm definitely not in a touristy area right now. I think I'm more in a residential area. Hello. But yeah, it's a good day. I'm feeling good, and let's just continue walking and see what we find. I'm just like sitting up here, and I was admiring the view, and I realized this is the place I came on the first night, because over here is where the red light was. Look how beautiful. Look. Yeah, this is where I came on day one. There's a lot more people here now. Okay, party boat playing. Okay. Oh, people just, okay. So beautiful. Currently sunset. Hello everyone, talk about frantic. So I was down enjoying the sunset. As you can see, it's currently happening right now, and it is very beautiful, as you can see. So I'm sitting enjoying the sunset, and I'm like, let me check what time my flight is tomorrow. My flight has been cancelled. So I was like, shit, the one reason I'm going to Brighton is for my friend's birthday party tomorrow, and I'm not even gonna make it, which means that there's no point going to Brighton. So then I looked online, and there's an EasyJet flight, which is like the airline that I normally fly in the UK, that takes off today, but it literally takes off in 2 hours. So I came back to my hotel. I have thrown everything in my case. I'm hoping that I put everything in. For some reason, the case was very easy to pack, which it hasn't been this entire trip, which is making me feel like I've lost things or left things behind. Oh my God, we are going to check out. We're supposed to check out tomorrow, but we're going to check out today, and we are going to immediately go to the airport, and we are going to fly into Gatwick and then go to Brighton. We are going to get into Brighton probably at like 11 or 12. I'm so glad that I caught that I looked on. I know a bunch of flights were being delayed and cancelled, but yeah, my flight no longer exists for tomorrow, so I'm so glad that I caught it. I have enjoyed Lisbon so much. We are going to end the video when we get to Brighton, but oh my God, what a beautiful city, what an enriching city, what an inspiring city. Let's look at the sunset one more time, and then we are going to have to go. So beautiful. Look at that. I am going to miss this trip so much. This has been such an amazing trip, and Lisbon has been, it has exceeded my expectations. I wanted to come and hear Fado, and I heard it every night that I was here, multiple times a night. Sorry, I've put so much powder on my face, and I've just like seen in the reflection that I'm like giving like James Charles flashback Mary. Sorry, I literally just like quickly got ready. So yeah, we are going to head now to London, and then we're going to go to Brighton. I'm very excited to go back to Brighton. It is very hot right now. Doing all that running about whenever you're sweating in this heat is crazy. But yeah, one last time, this beautiful view in Lisbon. It has just been so wonderful being here, and I'm so grateful. And we need to go to the airport now, so let's go.